Hi everyone. Today let's discuss about constraints. What are constraints? Constraints makes your animation much better by tracking the another object in depth. We will Google it. The meaning of constraint is compel or force to follow a particular course of action. And there is another meaning. Constraints are a way to control an object's properties like rotation, location, scale, and etc. It's like just parenting, but it's different from parenting. It actually it creates a relationship between two meshes. The one mesh follows the another mesh. In this video, we are going to focus on transform constraints. Location constraint. So select the mesh to be affected, and in the constraints tab copy location. And now I'm playing the animation here. The banana is moving in 2 dimensions, the x-axis and z-axis. Now I need to pin the banana at the target place. Now the monkey follows the banana, and you can also use the pen tool to the ink dropper to select the banana. And here I selected the offset, so the monkey moves along with banana without affecting its original position. Here you can also adjust the axis x, y, z. If you off the x, y, and it only moves in z axis, and you can adjust as you wish. If you off the Z and activate X, it only copies the location of the banana in X-axis. And there is a magical tool here. We can invert the movement. If I select the Z-axis, it inverts the movement of banana in Z-axis. Means it opposes the banana. And if you try X-axis, it moves in the opposite direction. If the banana moves in plus x-axis, the Susan moves in minus x-axis. And please leave this target and owner spaces like this by default. And here in the influence tab, you can adjust the influence, that how much amount the flow should banana influence the Susan. If you keep the less influence, it moves or flows very low speed, and if you increase the influence, it moves or flows very high. So this is about copy location. Let's jump into the next constraint. Here I have an animation that the banana rotates in 3-dimensional space x, y, and z axis. Now I'm going to go to the constraint tab by selecting Susan and copy rotation constraint. With the ink dropper tool, I selected the banana. Now the Susan copying the rotation in 3-dimensional space of the banana. Here you can activate the axis that should be followed by the Susan. If you only keep xy axis, it only copies xy axis, and you can experiment with this axis. You can also invert the rotation. If you keep a z axis, it inverts the z, and if you keep y, it inverts the y axis of banana. And you can also select all x, y, z axis, so it always opposes the banana. And here we have influence bar. You can adjust the influence here too. This looks great. Here I have a cute animation that the banana scales in 3-dimensional space x, y, and z axis. Now select the Susan, and in the constraints tab, copy scale. With the ink dropper, select banana. See, the monkey is copying the scale data of the banana. Here also we have this option x, y, z axis. You can control here. If I keep x axis, it only copies the scale of banana in x axis, and if you jump to y axis, it only copies the scaling data in y axis, and if z, it only copies the scaling data in z axis. And here we also have the influence bar. You can adjust the influence as you want. By the way, influence is just how much amount of flow that you want to need to copy from banana. And here we have another tab called power. In this power, you can adjust more than the influence does. The influence maximum limit is 1, and you can also adjust more than 1. That we can adjust in power menu. See, I am adjusting more than the value 1, so it grows more than the banana, it scales more than the banana. And if you go to the negative value in power, it opposes the motion, it opposes the scaling data of banana. If the banana scales in positive axis, the Suzanne scales in negative axis. It's all about scale. And here we have the last constraint of the video is the copy transform constraint. Here the banana is scaling, rotating and locating in 3-dimensional space. And going to the copy transform, select the banana.
Shit!
The monkey is just copying the scale, location and rotation of the banana. I don't recommend this because it's just you can control P that your job will done.